Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Would you like to learn how to make the perfect roasted chicken? Let's get started. To roast the perfect chicken, I have found that spatchcocking the chicken is the best way to cook it. Spatchcocking, you say? What is that? It is basically taking the chicken and cutting it so that the chicken can lay flat. To spatchcock a chicken, place it breast side down, and then taking your sharp kitchen shears, you're going to start at the bottom of the spine and you're going to cut as close as you can to the spine. Cutting as close as you can is going to prevent you from cutting any other bones, and it should just cut right through. Once you have cut both sides, go ahead and remove the spine. You can now use this bone to make gravy, to make a sauce, to make a stock, or you can just discard it if you don't want to keep it. Flip the bird back over so he's breast side up. Then you're going to press down on the breastbone until you hear it snap, and now the chicken is going to lay flat. Place the wings underneath the breasts, that way they won't burn while cooking. Separating the skin from the meat allows the extra fat to drip away from the skin. This allows the chicken to become crispy on the outside, plus you get to flavor the meat underneath the skin. Lift up the skin and run your fingers underneath the skin all the way down the breast, and make sure you don't tear the skin. And you can also do this underneath the thighs. Once you've separated all of the skin from the chicken, you're now ready to dry brine. I like to dry brine my chicken as opposed to using a water and salt brine solution, because I feel like when you put the chicken in a water solution, it does the same thing as when you're dry brining it. They both remove the moisture and tenderize the chicken, but with the water, now the water solution is coming back into the chicken, which is great because you're adding moisture and salt and tenderizing it. But what the water solution does is now it's going to dilute the flavor of the chicken, as opposed to with my normal dry brining it, I am just removing the moisture with the salt, but then the same moisture is going back into my chicken. So I prefer to use the dry brine so that my chicken is moist and tender and more flavorful. Place your chicken on a rack on a baking sheet. This is going to allow the air to circulate all around the chicken. To dry brine a bird, all you're going to need is some kosher salt. If you're using Morton's kosher salt, you'll need half a teaspoon per pound. If you're using Diamond Crystal kosher salt, you'll need 1 teaspoon per pound. Now hang tight, because in a couple episodes I'm going to be making a whole episode on salt. So if you're not sure why I'm telling you different ratios, just hang on and we'll learn all about salt. Be sure to check which salt you're using so you don't over season your bird. Place the bird in the fridge uncovered for 24 hours. If you're dry brining a turkey, you can leave it in your fridge up to 48 hours. The next day, remove the chicken from the fridge, and now let's make a rub to go on the chicken. In a bowl, add 1 cube of butter, salt, and pepper, a couple cloves of minced garlic, the zest of 1 lemon, and the juice from 1 lemon, some olive oil, and some fresh parsley. The beautiful thing about making a butter like this is you can add any herbs or seasonings that you like. Experiment with flavors and have fun. Mix the butter and herbs all together and then rub it all over the chicken. Make sure to lift up the skin and go underneath the skin and rub it down all underneath the breast until it goes all the way down, and make sure you do it underneath the thigh. Place a thermometer inside of the chicken before you put it in the oven. That way you can know what the temperature is while it's cooking without having to open up your oven. There are a few reasons why I love to spatchcock a chicken. Number 1, the chicken is flat. Therefore, you're going to get an even cooking. Second, the skin and the meat is all on top so that you're going to have a juicier meat, and the skin is going to get nice and crispy. Third, the chicken has a thinner profile, which allows the chicken to cook more even and faster. And who doesn't love a fast, easy dinner? Fourth, with the bird being flat, it's easier to carve because everything is accessible right on top. You don't have to adjust or turn or move anything. It just makes it really easy for when you want to carve the bird. When I was first married, I wanted to make a nice meal for my husband, so I decided to roast a whole chicken. Well, I didn't really know what I was doing, and I just buttered it up and put it in the oven, and I didn't have a thermometer. When I thought it was done, because the skin was nice and crispy, I pulled it out, let it rest, and I took it to the table. Well, you can guess that when we cut it open, it was still raw. It wasn't even quite cooked all the way through. So I was really embarrassed because I was trying to impress my husband with my culinary skills, and it ended up being kind of a disaster. But I wish I would have known how to spatchcock a chicken because it would have cut the time in half. I should have owned a thermometer because it would have allowed me to know the temperature of my chicken, and then I wouldn't have pulled it out and it was raw, and it just ended up taking a little bit longer. So I recommend that you learn how to spatchcock a chicken and get a thermometer so that you don't make the same mistake that I did. If you want the same thermometer that I have, in the description below I'm gonna leave a link where you can purchase one for yourself. It's cheap, easy, and now I won't cook meat without it. Cook the chicken in a preheated 450-degree oven until the thickest part on your breast reaches about 145 degrees and the thighs reach 160. This is gonna take between 35 and 45 minutes. Once the chicken is done, remove it from the oven and then place some aluminum foil lightly over the chicken so it can rest. After you've allowed the juices to be redistributed back into the chicken after about 10 to 15 minutes, go ahead and carve up your chicken. If you want to learn how to cut up a whole chicken, go ahead and check out this video right here where I teach you how to cut up a whole chicken. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Zested Foods. So the next time that you spatchcock a chicken, make sure you tag me so I can give you a thumbs up. Thanks for watching and have fun spatchcocking your chicken, and we will see you in the next video.